up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had a good 3-day weekend. Let me know if you guys did anything fun, anything crazy during the last 3 days, or you just kind of chilled out, relaxed. Anybody do some back trading, some chart studying? Let me know. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. We got Bill. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Georgia. We got Jay, Jeff, Joe, Lauren, Lucia. Good morning to Martina. We got Tim in the house. All my people out in YouTube land. Real virtual demand. Good morning to you, E Queen. Mari in the house. Good morning. We got Jennifer. Good morning to you. All my lurkers in the background. It's okay. I still love you. Just hit that like and subscribe button. The Cheryl's in the house. Good morning to you as well. Real virtual demand says good morning and happy new month. Bitcoin and SPY. Yep, we'll cover both of those. We'll kind of see where we're trying to open the month at. Lou, good morning to you as well. Oof, man, the squadron is coming in hot today. It's coming in hot. But what's not coming in hot so far is the SPY. We're down a little bit, gapping slightly after a now I was here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was promised, I was lied to, but I was promised that we were going to make new all-time highs before Labor Day. So we could put that rumor to rest. And I think the rest of the market was like, yeah, we could do it. And now everyone was depressed again. They're like, we didn't do it. We failed, but we got very close to full disclosure. We got pretty close to all-time highs on the SPY at least, and then Q's lagging behind a little bit, but um not a fantastic way to start the month, especially with the market kind of ripping toward the end of the day on Friday, probably trapping some people ahead of that 3-day weekend. So at the morning bell, I think there's some shorts that are probably on the wrong side of the trade. And I think that does add a little bit of pressure to the start of the day, at least where we're going to end today. I don't know. But I don't want to make it a trend, but you remember what happened toward the beginning of August, right? We're just kind of crazy move down. So I'm hoping we don't see one of those in the next couple days. The good news is the market has shown us even if that happens, we could just be talking about all-time highs again at the beginning of the next following month, as if none of this beginning of August even happened. But we do have some key levels that we're already starting to break down. Could be a chop day. It doesn't necessarily have to mean completely all bearish, but the levels that I'm looking for to the higher side, I think I'm looking at. I'm gonna have to refresh this trading view, but this is 561.60 to the higher side. If we start breaking through that, okay, we'll talk the all-time highs again. Otherwise, I think risk to reward is a little bit to the downside, and even your support kind of coming in at 559.72. The next one after that is going to take us to about 558.59. So still some decent support. I think we do have a slightly better risk reward to the bear side than the bull side on the overall market for today. Does any of this mean that we're going down lower? We're making no, none of it. None of it until we get out of some of this chop. What am I doing? What am I? Hold on a second. Let me get this. I'm just clicking random things. My trading view is lagging, so let me refresh this one. Let's see if I get a new. Look at that. Auto loads to Baba. I gotta love it. Gotta love it. Qs. Are we unlagging? I think so. A little bit. A little bit more. The Qs. So the Qs also with that gap down again. Qs weren't in the running for all-time highs. They've already did their work the first pretty much half of the year. But still a nice little rally from that August low, the August drop. Support on Qs. Which it is a bearish gap and go, so probably a little bit better to the downside, probability wise. But yeah, 471.48 would be your support. So that's not much room to the downside. And then we start coming into all those moving averages again, all that fun stuff that could support us up. To the higher side, I'm looking at somewhere around 474.52. We start to break that. We still have some really key resistance right above us. A lot of resistance on the Qs. And I'm not sure exactly what kind of news we need to really get us a good gap anywhere above this 476 zone. And then I think that would put us in the running for a little bit higher. But for right now, just chilling. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin. which I was a little surprised. We didn't really do anything over a 3-day weekend. Usually we get some kind of a rally. This one we didn't really do much. We were still sitting below that 200. We did have a little bullish engulfing candle at the end of Friday, so uh 2 bar reversal. We're just kind of flat now. Big resistance is at the 200. We got to get back above that. Get back above that bad boy. Otherwise, real support on this one is pretty much essentially where today's VPOC is. It's 59,168. We start to break that down again. We probably end up at least minimum retesting 58,168, and then big key level would be this green candle from this is I'm saying Friday, but I forgot. This is yesterday. This is yesterday. So Monday, 24-hour markets. Otherwise, we got 57,551 would be probably the next big real key level. We start breaking down yesterday's candle. I think we are looking at zones a little bit closer to this 53,929 zone. So a little bit flat. We haven't done much even in, this is today, so I'll count it as a day, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a full week of really just hanging out. It's going to make a big move eventually. Question is, when does this thing break out? And I don't know, but it's just hanging out. Probably a little bit more chop on that one. Let me see if you guys got some tickers. Albert says Boeing. Yeah, Boeing with a little downgrade. Downgrade to, I think, 119 was their price. Not great news for the Boeing, which has been in this 160 to 170 range for a while. We've got a lot of support down here. I thought they also had a report that came out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they also had a report from China that they're like doubling the amount of planes and orders. So I thought that was good news. And then you have it looks like you have some downgrades that came into this one too. So 119 is the target to the downside, according to the analysts. We might see some more downgrades start flowing in to Boeing after this one, but we'll see. Otherwise, we're still in a little bit of a chop for today. I don't know if it's going to be a completely easy trade. I think going bearish would probably be your direction, but maybe you get some kind of a bounce first. If you're going to try to short this thing, I would look for the first spot I would look for is as close as possible to 168.79. That should get you some better risk reward. Maybe get some kind of inverse candle right around that zone, something like that on a day trade basis. Otherwise, you still have some room to go down, but I would take me to like 164.24 if we start breaking that, especially if we close under that today. Then I think I don't know if Boeing could fall from good graces because I don't think we've been there for a while, but I think it would go much lower if we start closing on this 164.24. So probably a little bit of chop in here, even with that downgrade. I think there will be some more pressure probably to the bearish side on Boeing, but I'd want to short as high as possible. Tesla with a retest gap. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know the news on Tesla, but we can take a look. But they were doing something a little bit different than the rest of the market. They actually had some kind of a gap up, which is interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Tesla gains after plans to launch 6-seat Model Y. Okay. Yeah, I believe Neo was reporting earnings this week. Did that come out already? Is this off of maybe Neo? I think Neo is a morning reporter. No. No, so Neo hasn't come out yet, so that's Thursday. So it's not a sympathy of that. Maybe it's just that Model Y news. I'm not quite sure. 6-seater Model Y. Okay. They're starting to get a little like the iPhone. Just add extra cameras. It'll be good. But yeah, that would be a little bit of a retest. And again, you'd still have some more bullish sentiment. I have resistance, the first one up at this 218.93. I think that one probably comes in a little low. I think we probably get to like 222.12 would be my next kind of big target, stretch target. If we start breaking through that, this would be about 231. I'll call it 232, but slightly under. Would be your next big target up. But this is a retest gap, so probably buying this thing, especially with the pressure from the rest of the market out of the gate, not great. We talked about this in the morning room. So this one, let's take off this one. This is our previous swing. We were like, okay, maybe we'll just try to take the same thing again. But I don't think we need that one. This is how we were kind of looking at this one. That target would be from the other one. So some kind of entry around 212.68. I don't have this one set up. We never committed to it. But if this one pulls back, it's looking pretty decent. It might be worth the opportunity to take this swing now for a swing trade. But I do want to see this one pull back. And then again, we're starting the month pre-market bearish on most things, and obviously Tesla's doing something a little different. Doesn't mean we're going to close bearish today. I have no idea where this market wants to close, but you're just getting some positions kind of moving around a little bit. So the ending of today will be very, very interesting. Let's just, before we move off of Tesla, let's just see the weekly and then the monthly as well. That is quite the hammer they put in. Yeah, that's probably your key. You can break out of last week's candle. That might be decent too for a swing. And then on the monthly charts, I do still like Tesla bullish too. Until it actually breaks down, I'm going to be more bullish on Tesla. So what am I giving this one? I'm giving this one about $10. That's wide for a day trade. All right, we'll watch Tesla, but I do want it to come back down a little bit. That was a great retest we had last week. Perfect support balance. Nice strong candle, inside candle from last week as well. So we'll watch Tesla. I don't want to go short on it, but if it pulls back, I wouldn't mind attempting both a day and or swing trade long on Tesla. Still looks a little different. STZ, is that Constellation? STZ. Leonard, good morning to you. M Sky, good morning to you as well. We got Constellation Brands. I don't know why my trading view is so slow today. I even gave it a 3-day break. I say, you know what, trading view, you've been working overtime. You enjoy your Labor Day. Nothing. Nothing. Doesn't even want to come back to work today. You give an inch and wants a mile. Constellation Brands, yeah, this one looks pretty bearish. Pretty bearish. Still inside day candle. So I'd probably want this thing to come up, retest a little bit. But looking at like 238.27, maybe looking at 238.53 to go short. But not a great opening for Constellation Brands whatsoever. I'll tell you what. I'm going to exit off this screen because it's driving me nuts. And then I'm going to reopen a fresh browser with TradingView because it is awful right now. Let's see. TradingView. Let's see if the new browser trick works. There we go. Now it's acting a little quicker. That's better. That makes me happier. A little bit smoother as I slide it around. All right, that's better. All right, let's see what else. But yeah, I'd be looking to go short on. I don't think it's got anything long about it. Not quite. It's got that little double bottom. If you want to try it, that would be the only risk to reward play I'd go with a possible long on. Mongo database is just chilling. Nothing crazy. Really nice gap up from Friday. Pretty good close. The rest of the market did the same thing. Good close for the rest of the market too. I would have to imagine if you were playing this one bullish, I wouldn't be necessarily freaking out. I mean, you're gapping down 29 cents after a huge move. Could we see a little pullback? Sure, I'd probably be moving my stops maybe to right underneath that Friday candle. Otherwise, if I was in this thing bullish though, I'd be looking for probably this 311.18 as some kind of target. You got the 200 right there. That's your gap fill zone. That's your next VPOC too. So probably somewhere around this 311.18, I think would be your bullish. So maybe you get some kind of continuation You want to see 287.81 hold. Not enough for me to get into a day trade. I don't think enough edge. Maybe if it came back down to this like 288 zone. If I could get a 288, I might be able to try it, but still, I think my risk to reward is not great. But if you're in it already, that looks fantastic still. Hopefully, get some follow through with that one for now. LUV. LUV. I got some divvies coming out too. Alphabet to 190. Here's the top 10 analyst forecast for Tuesday. All right, let's check out some Benzinga forecasts. If it wants to load, it doesn't. Nope. We could only see headlines. But they're getting a nice, decent little gap up. Let me see this AI thing. Evercore. All right, so they got upgraded to outperform and raise price target from 30 to 35. Following the upgrade, shares rose 0.6%. It is a really nice gap. It's a really nice gap. You do have one little resistance that I'd watch out for. That's 29.86. Anything past that, I think for today, you're looking for about $30.65. We'll move this one much higher on the list, though. It looks decent. Um, and I don't know if I get it, but I would like to see a little bit of a pullback first. So even though this is a gap and go from Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, all really inside day gap for this, or inside candles of this one candle. Oh, okay. Thanks, buddy. Now it wants to give me the news. Uh, but if I could get it off of like 29.24, I get the best probably possible risk to reward on this one. Kind of playing that good news on some kind of a pullback, some profit taking. You did have a little run up into this one. I I I don't think at open I'd be so anxious to take it, especially with the rest of the markets a little bit weaker, and now you got some kind of pop. So yeah, if that one wants to pull back, I like it. Otherwise, it does have some room to the higher side as well. GME and Oxy. Um, yeah, they have earnings coming out. I saw this one was trending over the weekend. I couldn't really figure out why. I don't know if Roaring Kitty was coming out buying some more things. GameStop Corporation experienced a 0.5% increase in, yeah, okay, that's nothing. I could have told you that. Stock futures decline. But you have earnings coming out. I think probably you getting the retailers a little bit interested in the bull run up into earnings. I don't know how much debt they have anymore. They keep raising cash. They keep taking out Roaring Kitty money and paying down some debts, which is good. Um, this is the second bull day in a row. Retail's going to be all over this one. I don't know how big the short float is anymore in GameStop. It's still decent, I think. It's not like it was before. But this is a retest gap. You are opening into a little bit of resistance, so you probably want to see this one pull back a little bit. I'd be looking for like 22.97, and then keep in mind earnings are coming out around the corner, September 10th, so next Tuesday, a week from today. But not bad if it pulls back. That's a good double bottom off that 200. But yeah, retest gap. I'm gonna wait. Doesn't mean the rest of the retail traders are gonna be as patient as I am. And then we got Oxy. Let's remove some of these lines. Oxy has been in kind of in a do nothing zone for a minute, although today's gap is not pleasant for Oxy. There's two spots you want to see this thing hold, so we are opening at a little bit of support. 56.17, and then you got 56.02. So anything below 56 is where you probably want some protective puts. If you have shares of Oxy and kind of taking the Warren Buffett trade. Otherwise, this is technically a retest gap, although that's inside, so it is probably a little bit more gap and go-ish. If you get a retest and you want to try to take a short on this one, 56.49. But yeah. Little support to hang into, not much, but it does have some support down there. So we'll watch that one. I don't know if I have much edge either direction. City says I got in Thursday at the end of the day, and it's looking good. Target to whoa. No, Siri, stop talking to me. Uh, but yeah, not that's Mongo database, I'm assuming. Unity software. Yeah, they had an upgrade to I think $22. This company has been on one of the biggest downtrends I've seen in a long time. If you like Unity software, we're going through the numbers. In terms of growth, I think so 53, 33, 544, 609. And then they got killed on this quarter. 460. I'm not sure what happened on that quarter. And then so the last two quarters have actually been declining for them. Otherwise, they had a nice little run up. If you like Unity software and you want to put some money in for like a long-term investing, you're taking a shot. I mean, if this one you're not buying it off the highs, you're not buying it off the lows either. So obviously with that August crash, you got down into like this 1441. Lower interest rates will probably help a company like Unity Software, I would assume. But this is a gap and go for sure. You do have that price target raise. I don't think I'm going to buy this one. I don't think I'm going to buy this one yet. 1788 looks like some kind of resistance. The next one up would take me to like 1808. So anything above 1808, I think that sets you up. Otherwise, it's probably more chop. It is a little bit, yeah, it is a little bit of inverted head and shoulders. I agree. So you have that to kind of lean on. So somewhere there's left, there's the head. If this is the actual pivot, and we don't just come down lower from here. So you could get some decent risk reward stops under here somewhere. Entry, I still don't want right at the open, I don't think, although short flow is probably pretty crazy on this one. Let's see what that short float is. Unity software. Short float, 11% short float. And again, one analyst could spark, I think it was Morgan Stanley that upgraded him to. So credible analysts. You might see some more analysts start coming in with some upgrades to Unity software as well, which will push this thing higher. So we'll see. But yeah, at the open, I'll wait. Let me get this one higher though. Out of everything kind of on the list, it still looks good. You got that 11% short float, pretty decent on that one. And I'll definitely change my tune depending on where this thing opens. All right, if we start opening, I think anywhere above 1185, I'm actually more likely to jump in with the short squeeze. All right, X, yeah, X I think is dipping pre-market. I think Kamala Harris said that steel should be US owned. So obviously they had their bid from China trying to buy them, and politics influencing some stocks on this one. But a little bit of a gap down. It's still going to be a news heavy situation. You do have a little bit of support, so I think if we start opening probably where we are now, but anywhere below 36.46, I think the next target for day trade would take you to about 35.80, which on a $35 stock is not bad. If you're trying to hold out for more, you got about 35.06. That's where I'd be kind of all out of this one for stretch targets for the day. Otherwise, yeah, it's a retest gap, but that most of it was inside day of this. Probably a little choppy, I would assume. If you think the deal with China goes through, then you're finally getting a decent opportunity. I think they were putting the offer out somewhere around this $48 mark. So you could play a little arbitrage on that one if you like it. Otherwise, it looks like it probably comes a little lower. And then even with that said, if we start breaking, I think 36.19, there's honestly not a lot of volume to hold us up. So I got 34.25 is the next spot. That's a mini spot. 33.16. And then longer term, even on a swing, I'd be looking for like $30.97. So it's got some room to the downside if it wants to do it. But that's gonna be a news heavy situation, I would assume. Meta. Meta. Mm, not really. I mean, it's giving me a gap down into support. We do have the 20 EMA to lift us up. The rest of the market looks weak. This one's been pulling back. I mean, this is a one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh red day in a row. Um, I think stops on this one, you're gonna want anywhere under 515. 515 if you're trying this thing bullish. If we start breaking, I think 550, 520, you probably have more room to go down to 503 with some extended selling. Um, I don't know what this market wants to do right now, though. This is I I kind of like it to the long side, but the rest of the market is coming down. This one's been one that's actually held up pretty nicely though. I mean, we're very close still to all-time highs on this. And we're still above, I think, some support. So, you, I, man, this is a tough one. I think I kind of like it to the short side. I think it could break through most of this, but for right now, as a day trade purpose, I think looking at this thing going, you're opening at support, you probably get some bids coming in, I would assume. Uh, China or was it Japan to buy X? I thought it was China, but Japan actually would make a heck of a lot more sense. Yeah, selling U.S. steel to China would be I think that's a tough sell. So could be. Was it Japan? Okay. AMD. Uh, I have a short. I got a swing trade to the short side on this one set up, which was essentially just Jeremy Newsom's trade. So trying to come in short at 145.10. Targets on this one. I forget where we put it, but this one looks interesting. So we obviously broke this big uptrend. It's been feeling some pressure for a little bit. The rest of this market, and I'm back and forth. The rest of this market and what the SPY is going to do, what the Q is going to do, it's really probably more on Nvidia than anything else. And then AMD's sympathy. We do have Nvidia gapping down a little bit. This is also a retest gap. So again, getting bought up at open somewhere. Even this, we're right in between 50-50 between the next target and support, resistance and support. But looking for like 117.23 should be some kind of resistance now on Nvidia. And then to the downside, probably looking at 114.60. If that breaks, you're probably looking at a retest of this 100 EMA, which would take us down to like 109.96. If Nvidia does take that path, the rest of the market's probably going to pull back with it. Just how heavy that Nvidia is weighted into both the SPY and Qs at this point. Overall market. How is that the bell already? That's crazy. That's crazy. But everybody out on YouTube land, I appreciate you joining us each and every day. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And first day of the month. Be careful. Don't be a hero.